Today is Tuesday, April 30th, 2019, and welcome to my PCD life. So you're looking at my husband Ed on the right and my sister Rebecca on the left. My sister had a double lung transplant almost 5 years ago. And so that's why she's wearing the mask here at the hospital. So we're here for the first appointment.
Hey, Gina.
Which is right here.
So the first appointment today was with the nurse practitioner, and she went over the transplant process. So interestingly enough, some things have changed since my sister had hers 5 years ago. So the different hospitals do a different cut, I guess, for the lungs. And where I'm going, they go under the bra line. And for my sister, they had put in staples afterwards, which I heard was a lot of fun when they had to take those out. But they don't do that anymore. So they have like internal stitches that I guess, kind of the melting kind, and glue. And she said, it's bandaged for the first couple days. So part of the process with all these tests, there's a program that they enter all the data into, and patients get a lung allocation score. They call it LAS for short. And it goes from 0 to 100, 0 being not that critical, 100 being the most critical. And when my sister had hers, it was scores in the 30. She said was typically maybe 6 months before transplant happened. Now, because of a court ruling that happened a few years ago, scores, she said, are actually in the 40s now before lungs become available. So the Dexa Scan is a pretty simple test. Both tests today were non-invasive. So the instructions were to wear something comfortable and not metallic. And this is not what I wore today. So I had on just, some comfortable leggings and, a nice tunic on. And then just lay flat on the table. And to start, they have a block to put your legs up on. So you're this way and your legs go over. And then they have the thing on top, you can, from the photo at the beginning, just kind of moves over. And, they're looking at your legs and your hips. And then they take the block out, so you're laying flat, and they look at the right leg and just had me kind of turn my foot in a little bit. And it was over in almost no time. So by the time I got to the Dexa Scan, my bladder was pretty full. But I was running a little late from the nursing appointment, and I was a little afraid that if I went to the bathroom, they'd come out and get me. Figured, I could hold it for a little bit. So did the Dexa Scan, and then she says, well, let's go over to CT. And, she said it'll be really quick. We can get you on to the next appointment. So I go over, she takes me over to a little waiting area, and then the guy who's doing the CT scan comes over with a cup of water. And, I'm like, you gotta be joking. And he's like, no, you gotta drink that. And I'm like, but my bladder's already full. So I had to chug, the cup of water. And, luckily the CT scan was pretty fast. And it was a CT of the abdomen. And then they did a CT of my head. So I think I was lying on the CT machine for all of 5 minutes. So then the last appointment was with finance. And, as I'm sure you can imagine, having a lung transplant is an expensive endeavor. So not just the surgery, but also all of the medicines that you have to take afterwards. And I think she said that without insurance, that the prescriptions, can be like $50,000 a year. So So, I, luckily do have insurance. And, but they just kind of wanted to go through the breakdown of what, just to be prepared for, here's what things, not like, here's what the bill will look like, but here's what is covered or not covered based on my particular policy. And of course, all that, would be different, if you're in network, out of network, of course, cheaper to go to an in-network hospital. So that was my day today, and more tests tomorrow. So I'll post again tomorrow night about what went on. And thank you for watching this episode of My PCD Life.